the CEO stumbled upon a woman sitting in the pouring rain, crying silently. Looking closely, he realized she looked strikingly similar to his long-lost childhood sweetheart. Ignoring his assistant's objections, he hurriedly got out of the car to check on her. Holding an umbrella, he approached the woman. Her eyes were exactly like those of his childhood sweetheart. The CEO then brought the woman into his car. While giving her a towel to dry herself, he discreetly took 2 strands of her hair. Coincidentally, the woman was on her way to visit her gravely ill grandmother in the hospital. Upon arrival, the CEO handed the strands of hair to his assistant. He instructed him to compare them with the grandmother's sample for a DNA test. Watching the woman cry her heart out by the hospital bed, the CEO assumed her grandmother had a terminal illness, but he didn't realize that the real reason was the lack of money for timely treatment. Shortly after, the assistant returned with the DNA report. She was indeed the childhood sweetheart he had been searching for all these years. It turned out that 20 years ago, the 2 families had arranged a childhood engagement, but not long after, the girl accidentally got lost. Fortunately, she was taken in by her grandmother, saving her from living on the streets. However, she grew up in an environment filled with bullying and hardship. Now, her only lifeline, her grandmother, had suddenly fallen critically ill. In order to raise the 100,000 yuan needed for medical expenses, the woman endured humiliation and even drank an entire bottle of liquor at a client's demand. But when she stumbled to the hospital to pay the bill, she found that all the money in her account had just been transferred out. Since only her boyfriend knew the PIN to her card, she went to the bar he frequented to confront him. When she asked where the 100,000 yuan went, her boyfriend casually admitted to spending it all on drinking and partying. It turned out that the woman's boyfriend was a famous local heir to a wealthy family, but in order to win a bet with his friends, he had pretended to be poor for 2 years to gain the woman's sympathy. He didn't realize that this small sum of 100,000 was the woman's lifeline. Just then, a call from the hospital interrupted the woman's confrontation. The hospital informed her that her grandmother had missed the best window for resuscitation, and that she should come to say her final goodbye. At this moment, the woman completely broke down emotionally, but her boyfriend thought she only cared about money. Furious, the woman slapped him hard and rushed to the hospital. Standing in the rain, she tried to hail a cab, but car after car drove past, shattering her hope each time. Rain mixed with tears streamed down her cheeks. Losing her grandmother would mean losing her will to live as well. Just as she collapsed on the roadside in despair, the CEO happened to see her while passing by. Watching her grieve so deeply over her grandmother's death, the CEO silently vowed to never let her suffer again. He immediately paid off the 200,000 yuan in outstanding medical bills for her. As the woman kept thanking him and promising to repay the money, she didn't notice the CEO's face was already streaked with tears of heartache. Then, he handed her the DNA test report. The revelation left the woman stunned. She turned out to be the sister of the CEO's late best friend, and was also the CEO's fiancée. The woman was at a loss for words. Meanwhile, her ex-boyfriend, the rich heir, was drowning his sorrows at the bar. Over the years, he had truly developed feelings for her, but as he took advice from others to apologize to her, he failed to notice the hatred brewing in the eyes of the scheming woman who admired him. At this moment, the woman was quietly holding her grandmother's ashes.